Hello and welcome to a time special presentation for Thirukkural with the Times, where we explore real world lessons from the classic Tamil text Thirukkural with motivational speaker, author and diversity champion Bharathi Baskar as she explores the masterpiece. Betrayal is often considered an event, a revelation, but often it's a slow, almost invisible widening of the distance between truth and appearance, while the one betrayed continues to live, oblivious of the reality. History has often shown instances of even royals being betrayed by their own, which is probably why Thiruvalluvar dedicated a couplet to it.
The call came late in the evening. It was Leela. Her voice was low. "I'm okay," she said. Then after a pause, she added, "Just okay." There are wounds that do not heal easily. They settle quietly into the voice, into the spaces between sentences. Leela was recovering from one such wound, the kind that does not come from strangers, but from those we trust enough to never question. Her life, until then, had seemed almost complete. A warm home, a loving husband, and a child. When she brought in a relative as a nanny, a woman abandoned by her husband, it felt like an act of kindness, complementing an already generous life. The nanny blended into their world with effortless grace. She was loyal, became almost indispensable. Leela often felt grateful, as though life had given her more than she had asked for. Then there were small patterns, of course. The nanny would occasionally ask for a couple of days' leave, sometimes for some bereavement in the family, sometimes illness. Around the same time, Leela's husband would be away on official trips. These details brushed past her awareness but never stayed. After all, we see only what we are willing to see, don't we? The truth arrived quietly. A chance discovery, a pattern that suddenly aligned. And in that moment, two pillars of her trust collapsed into one unbearable realization. She was betrayed. She felt like a tree holding up the sky for her husband, even as he swung the axe at her roots. The two who betrayed her built a life for themselves out of stones carved from her pain. Rage, grief, disbelief, they came in waves, exhausting in their persistence. It took years for her to step out of that shadow. Today, she lives in her space with her child, quiet, dignified, rebuilt not from trust but from clarity. Betrayal, we often think, is an event, a moment, a revelation, but it is not. It is a process. A slow, almost invisible widening of the distance between truth and appearance. It grows each day, quietly, while the one betrayed continues to live oblivious of the reality. History has shown us this with unsettling clarity. The Battle of Plassey did not turn into a moment of combat, but in a long, silent preparation. Siraj-ud-Dawla stood against the British East India Company, unaware that within his own ranks, Mir Jafar had already shifted allegiance. When the battle unfolded, his forces did not fight. That stillness, more than any clash, opened the gate for British rule for 2 centuries in our country. In the sacred narratives of the Periya Puranam, we encounter a similar truth. Meipurul Nayanar, a king devoted to Shiva and his devotees, had built a life on unquestioned faith. His enemy, Muttanardan, understood this deeply. Disguised as a Shivanadiyar or a devotee of Shiva, he entered the palace, moving past every guard, not by force, but by his hidden identity. He reached the king's private chambers and struck. Even then, Meipurul Nayanar did not abandon his principle. He ordered that the assassin be protected and allowed to leave unharmed. It unsettles us, not because trust existed, but because trust was absolute. Across homes, kingdoms, and history, betrayal follows a familiar design: hidden intent, borrowed identity, and a quiet misuse of trust. It is no different in our times. In corporate takeovers, political realignments, boardroom negotiations, and personal relationships, betrayal rarely arrives as an outsider. It emerges from within, from those who understand the system well enough to move without suspicion. It does not look like a threat, it often looks like loyalty. And yet, centuries ago, Thiruvalluvar distilled this truth in the Thirukkural. Thozhudakai Yullum Padaiodungum, Onnaar, Azhudha Kanneerum, Anaiththu. In the hands that worship you, weapons may be hidden. The tears they shed may be just as dangerous. Perhaps the answer is not to withdraw from trust, not to harden into suspicion, but to learn the quiet art of observing, to hold trust with awareness, not blindness. For betrayal does not begin when it breaks us, it begins when it quietly escapes our notice. And wisdom, perhaps, lies in that delicate balance where the heart remains open but the eyes gently stay awake.